Welcome to this new video from the TailwindCSS playlist. In this video, we will learn about the width and height in TailwindCSS. The first thing we will learn here is the classes responsible for width and height. Let's start with width. For width, we have the class W followed by a number, which determines the size. As you can see in this example, W10, W20, W4, the width changes depending on the number. The second thing is percentage-based width. For example, we have W1 half and W1 third. The first one represents 50% of the page, while the second represents 33%. The great thing about these percentage-based classes is that they are flexible and dynamic. For example, if we change to a larger screen, they always take the correct portion, like half, 50%, or other percentages, automatically. We also have a class called WFull, which is responsible for making the element take the full width. To do this, we simply use WFull. We also have WAuto, which adjusts the width automatically based on the content size. For example, as shown here, when we add text, the div size increases as the content grows. This concept applies to width, and it also applies to height. For height, the class responsible is h, followed by a number. As you can see now, h10, h20, h40. So almost the same principle that applies to width also applies to height. The height changes according to the number. For width, we have WFull. For height, the equivalent is screen height. For example, if we want a div to take the full screen height, we use hScreen. And as you can see, it takes the entire height of the screen. If we want it to take only half of the screen height, we use h50vh, vertical height. In this way, it takes 50% of the screen height. This method we just used is called custom height or custom width. Using this method, you can have full control over width or height. For example, for custom width, you can write W and then put the value you want. As you can see, you can set it to 10px, 85px, or any value you need. For instance, if we change it to 200px, the width will update accordingly. The same applies to height. For example, h followed by a value like 5px can be changed to 50px or from 65px to 80px. As you can see, this gives you complete control over width or height. There is also another feature called min and max, which control the minimum width and minimum height. For example, in this case, the width is set to 10px, but if we set min width to 100px, the browser will make the width 100px. Similarly, in the second example, the width is 500px, but if we set max width to 200px, the browser will limit the width to 200px. This can be very useful. The min and max properties are very useful and are almost the same as the ones in CSS. They allow you to control the maximum width and minimum width of an element. By the way, this also applies to height, giving you full control over the element's size. For max width, you can use the classes provided in TailwindCSS, such as maxWSM, maxWXS, maxWMD, maxWLG, maxWXL. As you can see, the max width changes depending on the class. One of the advantages of these classes is that they can be used to make a div act as a layout container. These classes are commonly used to set a container width for your div. So as you can see, when we remove the screen, this class made the div a centered container. You can also adjust the container size from 2XL to 4XL. As you can see, it's just a matter of adding the class. For example, to apply this to all the previous examples and make them centered, we can use the class MXAuto to set horizontal margin to auto. As you can see, it's simple and very effective, allowing you to control width-related elements very well. And that's everything for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe at the end of the video and let us know your feedback if there is any issues so we can improve our content. See you next time.